So who did we who did we say we have on the fourth floor?
Salinas Alejandra from the 331st.
All right.
Your Honor, good afternoon. This is Ms. Contreras, Pretrial Services.
So who did we oops, hold on a second.
Your Honor,
Who did we say we give me the name of the defendant again?
Salinas Alejandra, 331st.
Okay. Ms.
Judge,
Contreras?
good afternoon, Judge. Public defenders has been appointed to represent Ms. Salinas.
Thank you.
Your Honor, good afternoon, Elizabeth Castillo on behalf of the state. Your Honor, I just wanted to bring it up to the court's attention. I had filed a state second amended motion to revoke bond, and Judge Palomo did hear my motion, and she granted it. She stated it on the record on the 3rd of August. However, an order was never signed. I did e-file that, so that should be on file. I just wanted to ask the court to file or to sign the order that Judge Palomo had already granted.
I signed it for her.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the public defender's office is appointed. Ms. Nada?
Yes,
Or-
sir. We were just appointed today. This case is at final pretrial. If we could set it back to pretrial so that we have a chance to speak to Ms. Salinas.
All right. October 25th. I'm sorry. Since you were just appointed, I'm gonna give you a quick setting of September 30th at 1:30. Okay, thank you.
For pretrial, Your Honor?
Excuse me?
That's for pretrial?
I'm not sure what the settings normally are there. Miss
It's
Raquel,
a-
if you can give them to me.
It's a final pretrial, Your Honor, but I can, I am gonna set it up for pretrial, Your Honor. Since
Okay,
she's
thank you.
appointed. Okay.
And the second floor. Who's that?
Lugo, Marco Antonio Lugo Jr., 406, Marco Lugo.
All right.
Gerard Cantu for the defense.
All right, 2021 CRI 481D4. Mr. Cantu, any announcements?
Yes, Your Honor. He has another case as well on 2021 CRO 661D4. He will plea on both cases. He will only plea on count one on 2021 CRI 481D4. A misdemeanor case will be NAFP'd as part of that plea. He will also plea as charged on 2021 CRO 661D4.
All right. Mr. Lugo, please raise your right hand and be sworn.
Do you guys swear testimony you'll give in this cause is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Louder, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Lugo, you are here on two cases. 2021 CRO 661D4, it's evading arrest of the vehicle. Account one of your indictment, and another one is 2021 CRI 481D4. It's a burglary of a building, state jail felony. Both of them are in count one of your indictment. They tell me that you're prepared to plead guilty to those cases. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to plead guilty today, but if you do insist on pleading guilty, you need to understand that you're waiving your right to remain silent, your right to a jury trial, and your right of confrontation, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, yeah, I'll be right with you. So, do you understand that, sir? That if you do be guilty, you'll be giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a citizen of this country?
Yes.
Now, the range of punishment on the charges that you are pleading guilty to, sir, one's a felony 3 and the other one's a state jail felony. The felony 3 carries your minimum time to serve of no less than 2 years, no more than 10 years in the institutional division of the Department of Criminal Justice. The state jail felony carries a range of punishment of no less than 6 months, no more than 2 years to serve in the state jail felony facility. You also may be assessed a fine of up to $10,000 on each case. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, I've been handed a document, two documents that both are labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. I'm going to show them to you here on the screen. They purport to have your signature.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your lawyer says that they went over that with you on one of them, and I'm going to show you the other one. It has several pages stapled together.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did your lawyer go over these two documents completely with you before you signed them?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand them?
Yes.
Did you know that by signing them, what you were telling me is that you agreed with the written contents of it, the stipulations of your guilt to these charges, and the waivers of your rights, sir, that are included in that form?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good. Any objections to one on each one of the cases?
No, Your Honor, no objections.
Very good. One's admitted in each one of the cases. To the charge in the case ending in 481D4, burglary of a building, state jail felony, as indicted, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
To the charge evading arrest for the vehicle felony 3, as indicted in 2021 CRO 661D4, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Is anybody forcing you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you doing it freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Because you have pled guilty and because you have signed off on States 1, you need to understand that I will no longer require the state to bring forth any other evidence before I find you guilty of this offense. In addition, despite the fact that you have entered into a sentence recommendation with the state, you need to understand that I don't have to accept it. But if I do accept it, you cannot appeal this case without permission of this court. If I reject it, I will allow you to take back your plea and I will give you a new trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Give me 1 second. Very well. I'm sorry, lost my train of thought. Did he plead already, Cindy? Verbally? I think he did. Okay. Now, because you have pled guilty and because you have signed off on States 1, you need to understand that I will no longer require the state to bring forth any other evidence before I find you guilty of this offense. In addition, despite the fact that you have entered into a sentence recommendation with the state, you need to understand that I don't have to accept it. But if I do accept it, you cannot appeal this case from permission of this court. If I reject it, I will allow you to take back your plea and I will give you a new trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Do you have them there? They didn't bring it to you? Yes. Aquí no son. Very well. The recommendations are as stated in the plea packets, Ms. Garza.
Yes, Judge.
So on one of them, you have them on 6 months and the other one is a probated sentence?
That's correct,
Yes.
Your Honor. He should have all the credit on the 6 months, and we're asking for 1244 punishment.
All right. So on Cosmer 2021 CR 481D4 in the offense of burglary of a building, state jail felony as indicted, I'm going to sentence you to 6 months to serve in the Webb County Jail as provided for in 12.44 of the Penal Code with credit for time served. There's a dismissal to counts 2 and 3. An NAFP of misdemeanor case M2-21-04352. And he's received credit for time served in the manner indicated or in manners that he may have. And if he is not done with his court costs, or with his time, his court cost there would be what, Kathy?
$485.
$495. Thank you. On the case of 2021 CRO 661D4, evading arrest of the vehicle, state jail felony. After finding you guilty of that, I'm going to sentence you 2 years to serve. Nope, 3 years to serve. It's a felony 3 actually. 3 years to serve in the institutional division of the Department of Criminal Justice. Suspend that time, place you on probation for 5 years. You are to have basic conditions of probation along with special conditions that will depend on your assessment. It will include defensive driving, anti-theft classes, thinking positive for a change, 150 hours of community service. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you will start on that as soon as you are released from the other case. There'll be standard conditions of probation along with special conditions that may depend on your assessment. Court cost the amount of
$325, and the Crime Stoppers $50, attorney's fees $500.
Are you working, Mr. Lugo?
Yes, sir. I'm a self-employed welder right now, because I already have 3 months without a job. I already spent all my money on school supplies and everything for my kids and everything, so I don't have money right now, but I mean, I can eventually,
Give me a second. How many children do you have?
I have 5, Your Honor.
5?
Sure.
All right. You're appointed, Mr. Gatto? All right.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm appointed.
There is no recoupment that I'm going to allow as a result of the financial situation that Mr. Lugo has. Very good. All right. So obviously probation will have to talk to you, but you're still in jail. So the same thing will happen. They'll be assessed there at jail and hopefully it'll be done today. If not, they'll send somebody else to get it done as soon as possible, no later than tomorrow. Very good. Probation will tell you when they need you to go to that office. Thank you, sir.
Judge, may I?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. Yes.
Sentence for 661D4 going to run consecutive with the other case or concurrent?
No,
Start
no, they're
after-
going to be concurrent with what he has available.
Okay, as of today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Give me 1 second, folks. the fourth floor. And you have, who do we have there?
Your Honor, we got Hernandez, Amelia, Juanita, 406.
All right.
Omar Salinas.
Amelia Hernandez, MTR arraignment, Public Defender's Office.
Omar Salinas for Ms. Hernandez, Your Honor.
Mr. Salinas, yes, sir.
Yes, there's actually an agreement if the court is willing to entertain it on this
Yes, sir.
MPR. In exchange for pleading true to condition 2, the state has agreed to modify down the sentence from 5 years to serve down to 2 years to serve, Your Honor. And Ms. Hernandez has agreed to that.
Okay. Do you have the, well, let me see. Give me the cause number. Oh, here it is. Never mind. Ms. Salinas, can you please raise your right hand and be sworn?
Raise your right hand.
Do you need an interpreter?
No, Ms. Hernandez, I believe.
Do you solemnly swear testimony you will give in this cause is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Does she need an interpreter?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Ms. Hernandez, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the question being asked of you? What was your answer to that question? Yes, okay. Make sure and answer loudly. Thank you, ma'am. All right, Ms. Hernandez, you are here because there has been an application to revoke your probation that was filed. It alleges several violations of your conditions of probation. Your lawyer from the Public Defender's Office, Omar Salinas, has advised me that he's spoken to you and that you're prepared to plead true to the allegations made in return for a recommendation of 2 years to serve in the Institutional Division of the Department of Criminal Justice. Is that your understanding, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you don't have to plead true to these allegations, okay? But if you do insist on pleading true, you need to understand that you'll be waiving your right to remain silent, your right to a hearing on this matter, your right of cross-examination to those people that may have been brought here by the state to testify against you in your case against you. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
Now, knowing that those are your rights that you need to give up if you plead true to these allegations, do you still want to proceed with that?
Yes.
Very well. To the allegations made, ma'am, in the application to revoke your probation, that you violated condition number 2, that you were supposed to avoid the use of vicious habits and abstain from the illegal use of controlled substances. They allege that, in fact, you violated that condition and that you violated those conditions on numerous occasions, March 8th of 21, April 8th of 21, May 18th of 21, June 28th of 21, July 4th of 21, and August 6th of 21, that in all those occasions, they found your system was positive for either alcohol, cocaine and opiates on several occasions. Are those allegations true or not true?
True.
They also said that you violated condition number 11, that you failed to pay the fees as ordered. Are those allegations true or not true?
True.
Now, you don't have to plead true, ma'am, but if you do insist on pleading, is anybody forcing you to plead true?
No.
Are you doing it freely and voluntarily?
No.
Very well. Now, because you have pled true, ma'am, because you are represented by counsel, and after talking to your attorney, he tells me that you're prepared to plead true to these allegations, you need to understand that I will no longer require the state to bring further evidence of the fact that it's true, that you did violate those conditions. Do you understand that?
Yes.
In addition, despite the fact that you may have a recommendation with regard to your sentence in this matter, you need to understand that I don't have to accept it. But if I do accept it, you cannot appeal this case without permission of this court. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If I reject it, I will allow you to take back your plea and I'll give you a new trial. Very well. The recommendation is 2 years to serve. Who was the lawyer, the prosecutor?
Eduardo Ramirez for the state, Your Honor. That is correct. That's the agreement.
Mr. Ramirez. Okay. So, very well. I'm gonna find that your plea of true, Ms. Hernandez, has been made freely and voluntarily, that you have made it with the assistance of counsel, that you do it knowingly. And accept your plea as true, and find that in fact it is true, you did violate the conditions alleged in the application to revoke your probation, and hereby revoke your probation and sentence you to 2 years to serve in the Institutional Division of Department of Criminal Justice with credit for time served. Thank you.
And Your Honor, she does have some credit for ISF time, and we will submit that to,
That is also credit. She's entitled to credit in ISF as well, and that'll be granted.
thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And next on, yes, ma'am.
How much time?
Ma'am,
How much time I'm gonna throw in jail?
it was 2 years, but you have credit, so I don't know how much credit you have.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you. All right, they're at the 3rd floor. What is your name, sir?
Eduardo Cantú.
406, Eduardo Cantú Cuellar, 406.
Eduardo Cantu.
Omar Salinas for Mr. Cantu Cuellar, Your Honor.
All right, 2021 CRM 59064. Status hearing on a drug possession case, Mr. Salinas.
Yes, Your Honor, I believe this is actually set for an informal conference. I'm not sure why it's on this docket and not on the other docket. However, we do have an agreement with the state to for a bond for $10,000 PR bond through pretrial services with weekly reporting and weekly testing, Your Honor. And we can file that order.
$10,000 PR bond or $10,000 bond through pretrial services?
Well, bond through pretrial services. Is there still that fee, Your Honor?
Well, if it's a regular bond, then there is a 3% fee. But I'm not sure what the agreement was, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I was under the impression that whether it was a PR bond or not, they still charge the 3%.
No, if it's a PR bond, there is no fee. If it's just a regular pretrial services bond, there's a fee.
Well, in the initial capias that went out, Your Honor, the Judge Hale ordered a PR bond through pretrial services for $20,000, and we were just reducing that to $10,000 with the same conditions. So,
well, maybe we're talking about the same thing, but we use different language. Who is the pretrial services officer to the 406?
Good afternoon, Judge Carlos Parra.
All right, Carlos, how does the judge normally address those issues?
Yes, Judge. So Judge Hale generally addresses the bond in that language. And if I'm not mistaken, it was 20,000 PR bond through pretrial services. And that's the language that Judge Hale uses. But it is basically a bond through pretrial services.
Okay, there's to avoid confusion then, for my purposes, just so then the judge didn't order a PR bond, he ordered a pretrial services bond in which he intends to pretrial services charge a 3% fee.
That's correct, Judge.
All right, very good. So
we can keep that, Your Honor, just $10,000.
Right, so $10,000 bond like that, and the next setting will be when, Mr. Perez? Assuming he's gonna get out, I guess.
Yes, Your Honor. That would be October 5th at 9 a.m.
October the 5th, Mr. Ramirez, Mr. Cantu.
Yes.
You're set for October the 5th to appear in court. You may not be in jail, so you need to make arrangements to get online.
Well, I have a hold on other charges, so I don't want that. I want to just get a speedy trial if I could. La mera verdad, no va a salir. I'm not gonna get out of it. I already wanted to run. Now that I'm here, I already want to get it over with. If you may grant me that.
All right, well,
Your Honor,
all you gotta do is not bond out. That's it.
and I will go see Mr. Cantu Cuellar possibly tomorrow, Your Honor.
Mr. Perez, give him a in custody date then.
Yes, Your Honor. October 19th, Your Honor, at 1:15.
October 19th at 1:15, sir. You'll be in jail. That's an in custody docket. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Up in the fourth floor,
Under guy Jesus Garcia, 406.
all right. Jesus Garcia, 2019 CRO 1609. Final pretrial, Ernest Garza. I thought he was there earlier.
I am here, Your Honor.
All right, here he is.
Your Honor, my client has been, he was in federal custody for the longest, and then he just got picked up on a capious on this case. But I did talk to Aran Karim Garza, and you did agree to a $5,000 bond through pretrial services as to each count.
All right. Is that correct,
That
Ms.
is
Garcia?
correct. Yes, Judge, that is correct. That was the agreement.
Where do you live, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, sir.
Where do you live, sir?
I live 2016 Pender Avenue.
2016 what?
Pender Avenue.
Pinder Avenue, okay. And how long have you lived there?
All my life. This is my mom's house, my parents' house.
But do you live there or you just receive mail there?
I live there. My mom just passed away.
So no one went to go look for you there?
I'm alone with one of my brothers left.
All right.
See my brother live there.
Your Honor, it's the same address that's on the back of that indictment. It's
Yeah.
16 Pender.
All right. Very good. Then a $5,000 bond on each count for pretrial services. And you'll have to report to pretrial services as directed, sir.
Your Honor, if I may, I know his sister is on right now. Is there a number she can call? Who does she need to contact at pretrial services? The number.
Good afternoon. The number she can call me at is 956 523-4989. Carlos Parra.
4989 with Mr. Parra.
Can I possibly have a telephone number for her?
A number for you, family member of Jesus Garcia.
I got her number here, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
It's 763-1693.
Thank you, sir. Next court date for Mr. Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor, October 5th at 9 a.m.
Mr. Garcia, assuming you're going to be out, you need to be at the court hearing October the 5th at 9 a.m.
Sir, yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir, Mr. Garza. Up to the third floor. Third floor, what's your name, sir?
Excuse me.
What is your name?
406, Jesus Antonio Vasquez, 406.
Jesus Antonio Vasquez.
Omar Salinas or Mr. Vasquez, Your Honor.
All right, Jesus Antonio Vasquez. He is present. Final pretrial.
Finish. He needs an interpreter, Your Honor, needs an interpreter.
All right.
Estamos aquí en el caso de Jesús Antonio Vázquez para su su audiencia previa al juicio.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor. In this particular case, we're still negotiating with the state. I did submit or email an affidavit of non-prosecution from the complaining witness in this case to the Assistant District Attorney, Mr. Soto. I'm not sure if he received that. I know he was out recently. But we're asking if we could just have our next court date. It was set for the 4th. I don't know if that's still the date we're going to have of October. If we could just have that as a status, a plea status, Your Honor.
Y en este momento todavía estamos en negociaciones con la Procuraduría. Ya mandé el documento donde él no se va a seguir adelante con, de parte del testigo. Tenemos una fecha para el octubre y estamos pidiendo que se deje esa fecha en pie para el asesoramiento del caso.
We can keep that date, October the 6th then, at 1:30, Alma?
That is correct, Your Honor, for status.
All right.
And Your Honor, at this time, we would like to request a PR bond or a lower bond. Mr. Vasquez has been in custody for 92 days at this point, and there is an affidavit of non-prosecution from the complaining witness in this case, Your Honor.
Let's say the state. Where are you? Who's the prosecutor in this case?
I
Judge,
don't
I'll
see
stand in on
Mr.
this case.
Soto.
Mr. Hobson, are you standing in for him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sí, en este momento su siguiente cita es el 6 de octubre a la 1:30 del momento.
Mr. Hobson,
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't quite
he's
catch.
asking for a bond on Jesus Antonio Vasquez Jr. Belongs to Mr. Soto. Apparently he's been in jail for 87 days and those are the charges, 3rd-degree felony.
Judge, the state objects to the request, and since it hasn't been 90 days, we'll try. I mean, we're only a few days away from the next from now the 90, but we haven't quite hit 90 days yet. So,
Well, no, it doesn't really matter. He's already indicted on it, so it doesn't.
He has
Yes,
been
that's
there
correct.
92 days, Your Honor. He has been there 92 days, and we did file, or like I said, we did email an affidavit of non-prosecution from the complaining witness to Mr. Soto. I can forward that to Mr. Hobson if that would help.
All right. Where do you live, Mr. Vasquez?
Vivo por la Jefferson y Lyon, my honor. Y pues ya tengo, no sé si me podría dar un personal release bond. Mi mom,
No, you need to just answer my questions or give me a second.
I live by Jefferson and Lyon, my honor.
Jefferson and Lyon, mi mom se acaba de cambiar para acá, pues.
Jefferson and Lyon, my mom just moved over there.
Well, where do you? I mean, how long have you lived there at Jefferson and Lyon?
¿Y cuánto tiempo tienes estar ahí en Jefferson y Lyon?
Ya tengo desde 2020 que entró 2021, apenas lleva un año mi mamá que se cambió por una casita.
Well, it's been since 2020, and when 2021 started, it was a year since my mom moved out there to a little house.
Yeah. Who is the alleged victim here, Mr. Salinas?
It's his, the boyfriend of his mother, Your Honor.
Oh.
And then, Judge, I've taken a quick look at the bonds, if I may interrupt, and the bond is in line with the bond schedule. I will, if I can take a look at the complaint withdrawal, then I'll reassess the case on behalf of Mr. Soto, and maybe we can work something out. But at this time, the state objects to the request.
What bond does he have now?
He has a 20,000 bond, Your Honor.
No, I reduce it to a $10,000 bond, and then go out to pretrial services if you want. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I have a telephone number for the family so I can contact them for bond information?
Do you have a number for the family, Mr. Salinas?
I do. His mother's number is 956-615-6184. And his sister's number is 956-898-4480.
All right. The next court date, Mr. Perez?
Yes, Your Honor, since he will be bonding out, his next court date would be October 5th at 9 a.m.
October the 5th at 9 a.m., Mr. Vasquez. Thank you. Going to the fourth floor.
Your Honor, wait for you first. Morales Juan Daniel. Morales Juan Daniel, Finishing interpreter.
Juan Daniel Morales, Public Defender's Office. Yes.
What page is he on, Your Honor?
Juan Daniel Morales, Public Defender's Office, 341st.
So,
Yes, Your Honor, he's being held on a KPS from June 22nd, 2016. However, from the notes that I found on this file is that this case was supposed to be dismissed as part of a plea to a case in County Court 2, which was 2015 CRB 835 L2. And he did plead guilty on that one, and on the plea packet, it does indicate that this case was supposed to be dismissed as part of the agreement.
Sí, estamos aquí en el caso de Juan Daniel Morales. Él está ahorita detenido por una orden de arresto que fue emitida el 22 de junio del 2016, pero basado aquí en mis notas, este caso debió haber sido sobresellado sobre un caso que tuvo en la Corte del Condado
Have you confirmed,
2015. 835.
have you confirmed that with the DA's office, Ms. Neda?
I just received the file recently, Your Honor, so I haven't.
Who's Ms. Calderon, is this yours?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. I am reviewing that right now. If I can get a few minutes,
Yeah,
I can open the file.
please. I don't want to have him in custody if in fact he's not supposed to be. Did you get the cause number?
Yes, I do.
All right. While you look that up, we're gonna go to the third floor and then we'll come back. So leave him there on the fourth, okay?
Yes, sir.
Third floor, who do we got there?
Zavala, Arturo Rafael Zavala, 341st.
Your Honor, he's on page 5, 9, and 15.
Thank you. All right, so this is also Ms. Neda. Ms. Neda, this is yours as well, Zavala Arturo.
Yes, Your Honor, he has a new case that's up for arraignment.
All right. Arturo Rafael Zavala, you're here on 3 cases at 341st, 2020 CRD 209D3, an assault to public servant, among other charges. 2020 CRI 1618D3, a burglary habitation, evading arrest, and 13? Huh?
15.
And 2021 CRI 1001D3, another burglary habitation, second degree felony. And that is the one that's a new one, yes? Arraignment, yes. Go ahead, Ms. Neda.
Yes, Mr. Zavala pleads not guilty, waives the reading of the indictment, and requests the next hearing date.
All right.
Pretrial October 14 at 8:30, Your Honor.
October the 14th at 8:30 for that case, and we'll put the rest of them on at the same time.
Yes.
Mr. Zavala, yes, sir.
Sir, es que no, yo no había fallado esta corte, sir. Yo estaba en el foro, más que no sabía cómo el mute, sir. I'm just asking for a reasonable bond de perdido, sir, porque también las otras cosas me pasó the same one, but I had clear bunch.
We can't hear you very well.
It's because on this court, I didn't feel neither, sir. I was on the court, but I didn't know how to unmute on the other charge.
Well, no, you don't have I don't know why you're in custody, but at the end of the day, you have another case, and you're out on two different felony bonds, and then you get arrested on another felony.
Yo no fallé la court, sir. I was on the court when that was the July 15, when I was on court. I called the party defender and I told him I didn't know how to unmute. The same thing happened with the other charges, the other KPs I had. They already gave me clear bond.
Are you in? Give me a second. I don't know if that would have made much of a difference. If you're saying that, is he in jail because of a capias or what on these?
He's being held for several things.
Mr. Zavala,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna let you talk to your lawyer. I'm gonna give you a quick setting, but I can't do anything about that until your lawyer investigates that, sir. Give me a quick setting, Mr. Perez. Raquel, Ms. Carrillo.
Yes, Your Honor. The next, it's September 16 at 9:30 or September 30th at 1:30, Your Honor.
September the 30th at 1:30 then.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's find out what happened here. I'll give Ms. Neda some opportunity to check that out. Thank you. Did you get an announcement on the other one, Ms. Calderon? We're
Yes,
done
Your
with
Honor.
Mr. Zavala.
I am going to dismiss it, Your Honor, but if you like, we can do like 100 PR bond just so that he can be released today.
All right, the case is, I think we can dispose of it. The DA's office dismissing this case as part of the plea bargain, so the disposition to say, okay, the DA's office is dismissing the case, dismissing the indictment, Kathy.
Okay, Judge.
And then she'll submit the order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. What's his name?
Morales.
Morales. Your case has been dismissed. Apparently, it was a case that you were already pled out to or was made part of the agreement with on another case that you had. Thank you, sir.
Señor Morales, su caso será sobresellado o retirado ya que era parte de otro acuerdo de otro convenio declaratorio que usted ya había tomado. Gracias.
At the third floor, who do we have there?
Carlos Capetillo, 49. Carlos Capetillo, 49. Also, Spanish. He's an interpreter en español.
Carlos Capetillo Jr., 2017 CRM 1516 and 2018 CRL 992. Mr. Capetillo is here along with counsel. What is the announcement, if any, Mr. Gallegos?
Your Honor, I was informed that Your Honor wanted to bring him in to clarify something on the judgment.
Okay.
Alma called me on this, Your Honor.
Judge,
Alma?
I think, Judge, it has to do with Ms. Garza at probation. Yes, Judge, if I may. Judge, remember Raquel Ibarra had also come to talk to you about him?
A ver, Ms. Garza.
Yes, Judge, this is a case where defendant was extended and he was revoked. So he was
Oh,
120-day jail sanction and then amend to include ISF.
they told me that I couldn't do that.
No, Your
That I
Honor,
couldn't revoke him and leave him on probation
correct.
because they wouldn't take him.
Yes, well,
Oh, so that I didn't revoke him, I amended his condition.
so we are withdrawing MTR and amending conditions, correct?
I guess that's what it ends up being instead of revoking, because I kind of wanted to do the revoking, but no. So we will. It ends up being an amended condition, and did we extend?
Yes, we extended a year on each count number.
So we extended a year, and we ended up amending conditions to include ISF.
And withdrawing the motion to revoke.
Yes, it would require a withdrawal. Do you get that, Mr. Capetillo? It's the same thing, except that it ends up being the same thing, except that ISF wouldn't take you the way we had done it. So we had to redo it so that they can take you.
Señor Capetillo, es lo mismo, nada más que lo tuvimos que modificar de esta manera porque el programa no lo iba, de la institución de sanción intermediaria no lo iba a aceptar a menos que sea modificada. Yes.
But that's it. There is no other, we didn't do anything more. We did the same thing.
Eso es todo, no hicimos nada más, sino es lo mismo.
We only did the procedural changes that need to be made in order for ISF to accept you.
Solo hicimos el
And it's
proceso.
only that one track.
Modificamos el proceso para que esta institución o el programa lo aceptara.
Is that correct, Ms. Garza? It's only one track.
I have both tracks, Your Honor.
Oh, is it both tracks? Did I do both tracks? I don't remember.
Yes, on my notes, I do have both tracks, Your Honor. Go ahead and verify.
It was the 180 then. That's right. All right, thank you. It's both tracks. You're right.
Y es para los dos.
It's a substance abuse and what's the other one?
Cognitive, Your Honor.
Cognitive behavior. That's right. All right.
Your Honor, would you like me to submit an order on that as well?
Who is this?
This Assistant Attorney Calderon.
Sorry. For some reason, I don't have you on here.
No, it's fine.
I need to see you so I can, otherwise the ghost.
I got her. I got her.
Thank you. Okay. So yes. I think the withdrawal will have that in there. If you submit the withdrawal, it'll have that language.
Okay. Yes, I'll do that.
Because Kathy will put both of them on a disposition.
Okay. I'll do that, Your
And
Honor.
then in your withdrawal, you'll include that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we go back to the fourth
Hey,
floor. Thank you, Mr. Ayos.
Your Honor, yes, sir. I'm sorry, Corporal Reyes. 406, I don't know if they have, I think we're done with the 406. I don't know if.
A ver. Perez. Marco. Go ahead. Yep, we got Longoria, yep. Yes, we are. Marco, you got that confirmed? He might be gone already.
Oh, he's still there.
Okay. So just so that the prosecutors and the public defender's office from that assigned to that court know that we're done with them, okay?
And I believe the next one is the last one for the 341st, Alejandro Delgado.
All right, let's see if we can get him done. Alejandro Delgado Jr., page 1. Amended MTR with a summons. So this is his first appearance? Ms. Neda or is it Ms. Rodriguez?
I'm standing in for Ms. Rodriguez.
Okay.
So I believe this is his first appearance at an MTR arraignment.
All right. Go ahead.
So Mr. Delgado pleads not true, waives the reading of the state's application and requests an MTR final hearing.
September 30th at 1:30 p.m.
Very good. Then we're going to have you back on September 30th at 1:30 p.m., Mr. Delgado.
I have a case right now, boss, Judge.
Well, no, you were actually brought in on this with a summons. You must be arrested for something else, sir.
That's correct. I have a $50,000 bond on the cases.
On this MTR, you don't have a capus, you have a summons. You must be there for something else. So you're back here with us, with Judge Palomo, on September 30th.
September 30th.
Yes, sir. At what time was that, Miss
1:30, Judge.
Carrillo? Yes, 1:30. Thank you.
Do you know if I have a hold here?
Sir?
Do you know if I have a hold here?
I don't know if you do. Do you have an immigration problem?
No. Probation.
No, I don't know if you have anything else. You'll have to ask the jail about that.
Okay.
Thank you.
30th. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, back to the third. Is that all you have, Ms. Carrillo?
Yes, Judge, may I be excused?
You are excused, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
That's all for me, to Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, Ms. Neira.
Fine.
And I guess the lawyers assigned from the DA's office to that court as well. Okay. Vámonos haciendo menos.
49, Your Honor, Orlando Raúl Álvarez, 49.
All right.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Annalie Vargas.
Orlando Raúl Álvarez, Ms. Vargas, how are you? Good afternoon.
I'm doing well. Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, we're set for final pretrial. In short, we're just requesting another final pretrial. He has a new possession charge that we're trying to wrap up together, but he's not receiving credit for this charge. He's being held on other charges, Judge. And since it's a time to offer, I've spoken with my client and we're requesting that his bond be lifted on this cause so that he can accumulate some credit on this, Judge.
Very well. The bond will be lifted and revoked on this case, Kathy. And we'll set him up for October the 6th at 1:30.
Okay, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Capers.
Okay, who do we have on the third floor?
Eric Chapa, Your Honor. Eric Chapa.
Eric Chapa. Page 13.
And Ed Dancock, Your Honor, also.
MTR, Mr. Dankaus on Eric Chapa.
Yes, Your Honor. We, unfortunately, Eric has other cases pending right now also at County 1, Judge, that are scheduled coming up for the 9th of November, Judge. So I'm not prepared to answer to you right now on this one here until I visit with them to see what we're going to do, Judge. If you'll give me a reset.
Why don't you try and bring those up over here? Or I don't know, because are you appointed there or not?
The This case was mine in 2010, Your Honor, as a retained case.
Okay,
And then this young man really never complied with anything of the payments. I'm still here though.
but are you appointed on this case?
No, sir. I'm still working. No, I'm still doing it. I
But
don't
they're
mind.
not, but you're not getting paid on this case.
Oh, no, no, no.
All right.
Nor was I on the other.
Well, let's go ahead and get him interviewed, pre-trial,
Yes, Your Honor.
and then let's see if we can, if there are cases at the county court where we can give them to Mr. Dankaus too, because it makes no sense for me to be, it's September and we're gonna wait till November, the county courts, doesn't make any sense. So,
Your Honor.
let's see if we can get Mr. Dankaus in on those county court cases so that he can start working on a package deal.
That would be the best thing, Judge.
If I may, Your Honor.
Okay, who am I speaking with, Mr. Rodriguez?
It's Rodriguez. Yes, Your Honor. What I'll do is I'll look into those cases and see if I can just dispose of those misdemeanor cases as part of a deal for this MTR, and I can just dispose of them in that manner.
Yeah, either way that you get them done. For some reason, I don't see you. Are you?
I have my camera off. Your
There you are. Okay. Okay, so then we'll do them that way, Mr. Rodriguez. So I'm going to give you time to do that, but I'm going to leave you on my docket, Mr. Dankaus, October 6th. At
That'll be fine, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. October the 6th then.
Valerie, go ahead.
Judge, just for the court's information, I only see one other case at County Court at Law 1, and it's the public defender's case, but I'll advise the officer in that court.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they won't mind taking one off of their docket and putting on Mr. Dankaus's lap along with this case.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Be safe.
You too, sir.
Was it reset, Judge?
Reset for October 6th at 1:30.
Thank you.
And we go to the fourth floor.
Your Honor, we got for the 49th, Gonzalez David Mark.
Which 12?
David Gonzalez. It's a plea?
Yes, Your Honor. The plea was filed. This is Annalie Vargas. As long as probation office was able to meet with him, Judge.
All right. Mr. Gonzalez, please raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear testimony you're about to give here in the trial be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Put your hand down. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, you are here because you have been indicted under cause number 2021 CRD 413D1. It started off as an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I understand that today you intend to plead guilty to a aggravated assault only. They're dropping the language on deadly weapon, Ms. Vargas?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And is that your understanding, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you don't need to plead guilty here today, but if you do insist on pleading guilty, you need to understand that you're waiving your right to remain silent, your right to a jury trial, and your right of confrontation. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a citizen of this country?
Yes, Your Honor.
An aggravated assault carries a range of punishment no less than 2 years, no more than 20 years to serve in the institutional division of the Department of Criminal Justice here in the state of Texas. You also may be assessed a fine of up to $10,000. Now, I've been handed a document that is labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. And I'm going to show it to you, sir. This is a document that is State's Exhibit Number 1, and it purports to have your signature. Did your lawyer go over that document with you before you signed it, sir?
Okay. All right.
Is that can you see the document?
Yes, my signature, Your Honor. Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay. Now, before you signed it, did your lawyer go over it with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
After you understood it, did you know that what you were doing by signing it was telling me that you agreed with the written waivers of your rights that are included in the document and the stipulations of your guilt to the aggravated assault?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, any objections to States 1?
No objections, Your Honor.
States 1's admitted. Very well. To the charge then of aggravated assault without the deadly weapon finding, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anybody forcing you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Now, because you have pled guilty, because you have signed off on states one, you need to understand that I will no longer require the state to bring forth any other evidence before I find you guilty of this offense. In addition, despite the fact that you have entered into a sentence recommendation with the state, you need to understand that I don't have to accept it. But if I do accept it, you cannot appeal this case without permission of this court. If I reject it, I will lie, take back your plea, and I will give you a new trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very well. Do you have it there? All right, let me take a look at your PSI. All right. Very well. Are you you're trying to you're not going to be able to get him into the 111th though because of the charge, right?
I'm not sure about that, Your Honor, which is why I wrote in the language, similar mental health treatment. He's already spoken to Carol Saldana from our office and has some paperwork for Border Region, so we're gonna get started that way. I don't know.
All right. Very well. I'm going to find that your plea of guilty has made freely and voluntarily, Mr. Gonzalez, that you are competent to make that plea, find in fact you are guilty of aggravated assault without the deadly weapon, finding and sentence you to 8 years to serve in the Institutional Division of the Department of Criminal Justice. However, I'm going to suspend that time and place you on probation for 8 years. You are to participate in the mental health court or a similar mental health treatment. If it is with Border Region, then it is with Border Region. If it's with a mental health court, then we go ahead and do that too. Again, there is no deadly weapon finding. There'll be other conditions that are given to you, special conditions, depending on your assessment. You'll have standard condition of probation. You have court cost in the amount of
$325, Crime Stoppers, $50.
$50 Crime Stopper, $325 in court cost. And because of your condition, I am not assessing any recoupment to the County of Webb. I don't think they're entitled to it under the law. You'll be interviewed by probation. They'll tell you where it is that you need to go and when, sir. All right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions?
How long should I wait today before I get released?
We're trying to get to you as soon as possible. We may be able to send an officer to you right now. I'm not sure. We'll get to you as soon as possible.
And then after that, I should be out.
Yes, as long as this is the only case you're there for.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Double check the county too, like the offense, right? The charge, right?
The aggravated assault. It was an aggravated assault, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
You know, right? The officer?
The officer?
Yeah, in the county, they should let me know, right?
Booking, they will get the information from the clerk's office and they will know.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
If I may,
Yes, Ms. Garza.
in case the defendant does get released, can you court order him to report to the probation department tomorrow?
If for some reason you do get released today, then you need to go to the probation department tomorrow, sir.
Immediately, right?
Excuse me?
Immediately, right? To go visit them, right?
Yes, tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. All right, third floor.
Piquerino Raúl Mariano Piquerina.
Thank you. Mariano, you say? Raúl Mariano, what?
Page 10, Judge.
All right. Raúl Mariano Tijerina, 2021 CRJ 927, consultation hearing, public defender's office.
Your Honor, we've already come to an agreement with the state. We've submitted a plea packet. I believe the state has already submitted a plea packet, Your Honor. I don't know if Your Honor.
I have it here. All right, Mr. Tijerina, please raise your right hand and be sworn.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Tijerina, you are here on an indictment return of a grand jury in this county against you under cause number 2021 CRJ 927 D1. Charges you with the offense of theft, state jail felony.
Yes, sir.
They tell me that you're prepared to plead guilty to that. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
To the count then. Well, let me tell you this. You don't need to plead guilty here today, but if you do insist on pleading guilty, you need to understand that you'll be waiving your right to remain silent, your right to a jury trial, and your right of confrontation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
A state jail felony carries a range of punishment of no less than 6 months, no more than 2 years to serve. In a state jail felony facility, you also may be assessed a fine of up to $10,000. Are you a citizen of this country?
Yes, sir.
Very well, sir. I'm going to show you the document that you purportedly signed, and I'm going to ask you, sir, did you sign that document and did you understand it? First of all,
Yes, sir.
States Exhibit 1, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did your lawyer go over this document that I'm showing you here on the screen before you signed it?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Did you, after understanding it, did you then sign it?
Yes, sir.
Did you do that freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir. I did that.
Did you know that by signing it, what you were telling me is that you were in agreement with the written stipulations of your guilt to this charge and the waivers of your rights?
Yes, sir. I know I was wrong in the time. I said my punishment.
Thank you, sir. Any objections to one?
No objections, Your Honor.
One's admitted. To the charge in the indictment, theft, count 1 of the indictment, as indicted, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Anybody forcing you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
But because you have pled guilty and because you have signed off on States 1, you need to understand that I will no longer require the state to bring forth any other evidence before I find you guilty of this offense. In addition, despite the fact that you have entered into a sentence recommendation with the state, you need to understand that I don't have to accept it. But if I do accept it, you cannot appeal this case without permission of this court.
Yes,
Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If I reject it, I will allow you to take back your plea and I'll give you a new trial.
Yes, sir.
Very well. Okay, Mr. Tijerina. I'm going to go ahead and find that your plea of guilty has been made freely and voluntarily, that you're accompanied to make such plea, and find in fact you are guilty of this theft of property, state jail felony, and I'm going to sentence you in accordance to the agreement with the state at 104 days to serve in the county jail under 12.44 of the Penal Code with credit for time served. You should be out shortly from what I understand. There is a $325 in court cost, and I've signed off on that as well. Good luck to you, sir. Who else we got? What's your name, sir?
Almendares, Your Honor, Juventino Almendares. Yes, sir. Go ahead, have a seat.
Six, Judge.
Thank you.
Español. Español. Please translate, I need an interpreter.
Juventino Almendares, 2019 CRF 1541. Needs an interpreter. Mr. Almendares.
Señor Almendares.
Good afternoon, sir.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon.
Public Defender's Office status hearing.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Almendares is currently waiting for a bed for competency restoration. Our office has been in contact with Vernon's. It looks like he's number 133 on the list.
Wow.
Sí, en este momento tenemos al señor Almendares en la lista de espera para su evaluación de competencia y él ahorita es el número 133 en la lista.
Let's give him a 6 month, 3 months.
Dame una fecha en 3 meses. por
Well,
favor.
let's put it at the end of that, or whatever we can.
You want that October date?
I'm gonna put it down for October 25th at 1:30 just for status. October 25th.
And Your Honor, I've been in contact with his family. They understand the situation as well. He's kind of in a bad spot because he also has an INS hold.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Next one.
De la Torre Antonio de la Torre Jr.
Thank you, sir.
Page 10.
Consultation setting for Antonio de la Torre Jr., Public Defender's Office. Mr. de la Torre, what is your phone number where the Public Defender's Office can get a hold of you, sir?
My mom's,
Yes, sir.
956-629-9323.
And what is her name?
Antonio de la Torre Jr.
No, what is her name?
Oh, Jessica Arevalo. That's my mom.
Jessica Arevalo.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. All right, so Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Go ahead, Mr. Trevino.
Your Honor, he currently has a bond of $40,000. He's also set for, I guess, September 30th on another D1 case. So I don't know if we want to reset this for September 30th.
What time? When is he here for? September 30th?
Yes, Your Honor. Looks like 2021 CRH 1043 D1.
All right, let's put them together. September 30th, Alma.
Yes, Judge.
And I think he has another one also, 2021 CRH 1087.
Well, let's put them together, at least with the other felony one, and then we'll take it from there.
And he also has a federal hold, Your Honor. So at this point, we're just going to keep the bond as it is.
Yes.
Hopefully, he doesn't get taken.
Yeah, there's no need in, you're not going anywhere anyways, so no need to get that bond reduced right now. Thank you. Next one. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, just a quick intermission while I go connect on the last for the second. We're done with the third and fourth.
Okay, sir, thank you. So we have a few more to go, guys. We should be done here in un ratito. Who is this?
This is Valerie with pretrial judge.
Hey, Valerie.
Judge, on page 9, Mr. Jose Alfredo Lopez, I know you already called him on page 11. He has Mr. Gallegos appointed to this case. Would you want to appoint the public defender's office to this case or appoint Mr. Gallegos to his second case?
Well, Mr. Gallegos is already on another case?
Yes, Judge, he was
Yeah,
appointed.
we'll just appoint him to that case.
Okay, to the new case.
To the new one as well, yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And to give him a similar setting, Alma, on those cases.
Okay.
I believe he's still.
Alma, if you go from the very back page, from page 14, did we already do Bernal? We did, right?
Yes, it was Mr. Arce.
And then did we do Moises Robles?
No.
Okay. Eduardo Monsiváis, page 12? Tampoco.
No.
Jason Duncan, tampoco.
Yeah, no.
No.
Oh, but Mr. Garcia came on that Duncan, remember?
Right, but I told him to hold on.
Yeah.
That we call him on. Antonio Rodriguez III, we need him. Carlos Enrique Mendez on page 5, we did him.
Yes.
Fernando Alfredo Mora, from Public Defender's Office, page 4.
We haven't done him.
Yeah, we did him.
Oh, we did?
He had 2
Yeah,
cases.
yes, October 6th.
Yeah. On page 3, Domingo Munoz,
No.
we have not. And then on page 2, Orlin Jimenez.
Yes.
We did him.
No.
No, or she?
No.
Okay, no. All right. All right, so those are the ones we have.
And there's still Zapata, Judge. I know Mr.
Mr. Sanchez has 1.
Sanchez.
Yeah, the extradition.
We do? 1 extradition?
Ande.
Yes, Your Honor, on the extradition, I haven't been able to speak with the client.
Okay, we'll give you time.
Also, I don't have a copy of the warrant. I have all the other paperwork on him, but not the warrant. So I'm not sure if the warrant exists or not. You may have that.
I'll check it out in a minute. And let's wait for the jail. Give me a second. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee.
Alma, are you on?
Yes, I'm right here.
Oye, ¿qué pasó con este muchacho José Alfredo Lopez? Has he been reset or has he been called?
Which one is that?
José Alfredo Lopez Jr. He's got 2 cases.
Oh, that's the one you were talking about, Valerie?
Yes, Alma, the only thing is that I wanted to run it by judge. He's in custody for new charges too, and they're the public defender. So Mr. Gallegos has one, and the public defender's office has another case, a case at county court too, and all the new charges.
He also has federal. He's being detained on a no bond out of Soldaña's courtroom, so he's not
But
going
is Arturo gonna be replacing the public defenders?
The thing is, on the new charges, Mr. Gallegos is no longer on our appointment list, so I would need to have it ordered by judge. Unless Mr. Gallegos wants to give them to the public defenders.
Didn't the judge just order him to get him right now?
Yes.
On the cases at the 49th, yes, but the ones at the magistrate level, no.
Oh, okay.
You didn't tell him about the magistrated level?
No, that's what I was looking into.
Okay.
So Arturo, do you want them or you don't?
Sure, I'll take him. I mean, if the new ones are, here's a new one. It's some criminal trespass. I mean, it's dumb shit. So maybe I can just get it dismissed. It's not an issue. He's got federal. He's gonna do some serious time anyway.
Okay, so Jose Alfredo Lopez, the one that the public defender had already been reset for September 30th.
Okay, so I'll take September 30th on both of them. Bond's not an issue. He's not going anywhere on the Fed.
Okay, yeah, September 30th at 1:30, okay?
Okay.
¿Cuál es
Okay.
esa, Alma? I'm sorry.
Page 9.
9.
Jose Alfredo Lopez, 936, D1. Because he's also on page 11 and we had already reset that one for 9:30.
Thank you, Alma. So I got him on both. I'll work them out.
Yeah, and she needs to ask for the new one also, so you can get appointed on that one.
Gracias, Alma. Gracias, Valerie. Take care, guys.
Hey, Art,
Bye.
on that, I think Villarreal at the public defenders is his attorney over there.
Oh, okay.
At the
But that's not
federal
what,
side.
that's not our case?
No, on the federal. So our,
Oh.
Yeah.
But then, Valerie, the new case, is it ours?
No,
But-
Alma.
He's
Oh,
talking
okay.
about federal case.
Oh, okay. All right, Valerie.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Arturo.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Cassandra?
Alma,
Yes.
Cassandra.
Well, She sent me a text. Mr. Reyes, Felipe Reyes.
I think I'm standing in for Cassandra on her cases.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Reyes is step out of the office.
Do you know if Eduardo Monsiváis is in federal custody?
Eduardo Monsiváis.
Eduardo Monsiváis.
Let me go check the system, man. I'll be back.
Thank you. Joaquin,
Yes, ma'am.
she's telling me that he's in federal custody.
Oh, that Monsiváis is in federal custody?
That's what she's telling me, so that's why we need to issue a writ if he is. So let's see what they tell us at the jail.
She filed the writ today.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I guess he is in federal custody.
So we just need to reset him.
Yes, ma'am. I concur.
Gracias.
All right.
Do you know if she put a date on that writ?
Not that I'm aware. The only note that I have is that she filed the writ today.
Kathy?
Yes.
Can you check on 2021 CRI 461? Cassandra's saying she filed a writ. Is there a date on that writ?
I think it was just filed. I don't know. Give me one sec.
Alma, 469?
461.
Okay, thank you.
No, ma'am, excuse me.
Yes.
We don't have a Eduardo Monsiváis.
Okay.
It's not in the system.
Okay.
Alma,
I'm sorry, Joaquin, go ahead.
the date was for October 1st.
First.
Yeah, October 1st. That would be a Friday.
Okay.
Alma.
Yes.
No, there's no writ filed.
It was just filed today.
Oh, no, pues I'm in court.
Okay.
Yeah, may not even have it.
Okay, I'll check into it right now.
That's all right. Thank you.
Okay.
So she set it for a regular docket?
Alma, el writ, I thought it was for the junior and not the senior. This is Eduardo Monsiváis, right?
And who is this, senior or junior?
Let me check the indictment porque
It's a big mess with this
I
guy.
know, I already spoke to Maribel about it and she's still working with IT. Yeah, this is junior.
This is junior?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just saw that it says that he's not in custody.
So a writ needs to be submitted. Mr. Joaquin said it's already e-filed, right?
Yes.
It's already been e-filed. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Signed it.
461. Lo tengo todavía, no. Joaquin. Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, ma'am.
No, it's not e-filed. I just checked.
Okay. I did sign it, so it should. I don't know if it's supposed to be e-filed first or if it's sent to the marshals. I don't know. All I know is that I signed it and it's floating around somewhere.
Yeah, it has to go to the marshals and then e-file.
That's probably what it is. Then I apologize for the confusion, Miss Kathy.
No problem. I'll just keep an eye on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Alma.
Monday,
El Eduardo Monsiváis was it reset or it's just pending?
not yet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, who do we have?
Judge, if you want to go to page 12,
Okay,
page 12, Eduardo Monsiváis.
yes.
Okay, he's not in custody. He's in federal custody. So Cassandra is issuing a writ.
Okay, we need a writ, and where is he at?
Apparently, I don't know. She just texted me and she wrote October 1st on the
Yes, Your
writ.
Honor. The writ was set for October 1st. It's already been signed. It's on its way to the marshals, and pending their signature, it should be e-filed after that.
Well, we're gonna have to get him at a different date, so just make sure you let Corporal Reyes know ahead of time. October 1st is fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Okay, who do we have at the jail? Second floor.
Number 49, Robles, Moises David. Robles, Moises David.
Page 13, Judge.
Moises Robles. But Mr. Tejas is not on yet, no?
Well, he's there, but I don't know.
His office is there.
Yes.
The staff was there. Staff, there she is. We see her. We see her more often than we see Mr. Tejas. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So, you're muted, Miss Priscilla.
Hear me?
Okay, go ahead.
Federal. He's in a sentence.
Where is he at?
He is with Judge Marmolejo. It got pushed to 4 p.m. instead of 3.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I believe we are just pending a date for a motion to suppress. The motion to suppress last time was pushed back because the defendant absconded, and now we're just pending a motion to suppress date.
Oh, there's Mr. Tejas. Okay.
Still
So-
in there. I was supposed to start at 4 and I'm in the waiting room. And
Okay. So on this one, you're waiting for a motion to suppress. So we're gonna reset this case. We're gonna have the motion to suppress. Alma will get you a date, and we'll send that date to you, and we'll have both. We may end up having that motion to suppress in person.
That's fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we'll send you that date, a couple of dates, so y'all can select the dates on that.
Sounds good, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Who wants to say something?
Your Honor, that's all.
Mr. Robles.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Yes, may I speak?
All right.
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, I want to apologize to the court, for being so impulsive.
I can't understand you. What? Tell me again.
So first of all, I want to apologize to the court, for being impulsive and for cutting that monitor off, but I would like to request the court if I could change my attorney.
If you what?
Yes, I'm good. I would like to ask the court if I could request to change the attorney.
Oh, well, we'll pick that up at some other point, sir, but there's, why would you like to change an attorney?
Yes, 'cause I feel it's not fair, like we've been not fighting this case the way it's supposed to be. And that's one of the reasons that it's been impulsive and I cut the monitor off. And I was complying with everything, and there's Miss Maribel Gonzalez to tell you I was just going to church and back, and I was doing things the way it's supposed to be, complying with everything. You could ask her, and you could ask my two pastors. I was going to LCC, going to applying jobs here and there, but I would tell my attorney if I could talk to him in person, but he would always put me in
Well, the reason you were picked up was not because of your lawyer. You were picked up because pretrial services said you were absconded. So, Ms. Villarreal, is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually under Ms. Gonzalez's supervision. She's here, Judge.
Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes, Judge. He was under my supervision, and yes, he did cut off his monitor.
All right. That's why you got picked up, sir, because of that. I don't know what you mean by complying. So you're going to be here until we make another decision on your case. But for now, you remain here. We'll send you notice of the motion to suppress hearing.
Thank you, Judge. I will file the motion to withdraw, and we can deal with that the same day of the motion to suppress.
I'm not sure if I'll entertain that, but again, we have to have a good reason for it.
That's fine.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Next defendant. Make sure and get that date on my for me, please, because I didn't give it a date today.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Same thing for Monsiváis. Oh yeah, we got October 1st on him. Okay.
Yes.
Who do we got at the jail? What's your name, sir?
We got from the 49, Rodriguez Antonio III.
All right.
Page
Antonio.
7.
Page what?
7.
Thank you. Antonio Rodriguez III, motion to revoke. Mr. Richard Gonzalez.
I'm present, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
All right.
Pedro Harper from the state of Texas.
Mr. Guajardo, thank you.
We're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
All right.
Mr. Rodriguez wants to enter a plea of true to the allegations that he tested positive on 3 occasions. The first one was on March 10th of this year for alcohol and cocaine. The second one was April 28th of this year for alcohol, cocaine, and marijuana. And the third one was May 24th of this year for alcohol, cocaine, and marijuana. And we're going to plead not true on the new offense, Your Honor. He got arrested for that on July 6th.
Come on.
Mr. Guajardo filed formal charges on that misdemeanor assault yesterday. So if he was to go to safety, they would require him to post a bond because I'm not sure that they will accept him with a case that's pending, Your Honor. And what we're asking the court for is a 90-day sanction inside the jail and keep him on probation.
Give me a second. So you're willing to plead true to some of the allegations, which would do what? What is the recommendation for that particular revocation?
The recommendation from probation, Your Honor, is that he be placed at safety for a period of 9 months. And this is the first time that he's been up on a motion to revoke.
Okay, so then that would require withdrawing the MTR, would not, Ms. Garza?
Yes, Your Honor, we're amending that would, we would go ahead and withdraw the MTR.
Okay, so then, but Mr. Guajardo, chime in, please.
Yes, Your Honor. This defendant is paying true to the conditions, Judge, especially condition number 2. We're waiving condition number 1. That subsequent arrest has been filed under cause number 2021 CRB 718L2. Probation did try, Your Honor, to find another alternative, Your Honor, for about 6 months. They tried McAllen in San Antonio. They both rejected the defendant based on his prior criminal history. The 111th also rejected him, Judge, on the mental health docket. So the only alternative is safety with special needs or time to serve, which he pled guilty to 5 years to serve. We don't think time to serve is an option right now. We believe that the defendant needs treatment. Probation also believes, after speaking with probation, that they feel that this defendant is mixing his drugs with his medication. That can be dangerous, Judge. So we strongly believe that this defendant needs help, needs treatment. And the only option is safety with special needs, Judge. Nobody else wants them. Like I said, they tried San Antonio and McAllen, and he was rejected by both based on his criminal history. So that's our recommendation, Judge, safety with special needs, only because that's the only option.
Okay, but what is this thing about a sanction that Mr. Gonzalez talks about?
That's what he wants, a 90-day sanction, but.
What is that you speak about, Mr. Gonzalez?
Judge, we're requesting the court to impose a sanction in lieu of revocation and in lieu of sending him to safety. Your Honor, the reason that he was referred to the mental health docket is because he has a history of mental health issues. He's been to a facility in Edinburgh. He's been to SASH. He's been to another facility, I believe, in San Antonio. He was rejected on the mental health docket because of the fact that this case involves a crime of violence, whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony, Your Honor. Anybody with a crime of violence, including a misdemeanor, will be rejected from the mental health docket. When he first went in to the Webb County Jail on July 6th for the new offense, misdemeanor assault against his mother's boyfriend, who has a long criminal record, he was given an injection of medication from at border region, and he's supposed to get an injection. I don't know what the frequency is, Your Honor, but they told him that they could not give him more medication because of some problems with the financing for that when he's in the jail, which I think it would be available if he was not in the jail. But I spoke to him at length yesterday, Your Honor, inside the jail.
Your Honor, if I may, I believe one of the main issues is his drug use, Judge. That's why he's not, I guess that's why he acts out. His last arrest was in July, Judge. He assaulted Pablo Muriel, another, an assault class A family violence. We feel that this defendant, because of his drug use, he is dangerous to the community, but also to himself, Judge. So at this time, we don't feel time to serve will be an option. It will be treatment. And you can ask probation the same thing, Judge, and I believe that's a recommendation also, safety with special needs. And Judge, again, I remember we were here a couple of months ago, Judge, or months ago, and probation did try to find an institution that will hold them for about 6 months or less, but we're not successful. We tried, Judge, but
Yeah.
safety is the only option.
This is a problem with resources that are just not available for us. And then we've been spinning our wheels. How long have you been in custody, Mr. Rodriguez?
Since July the 6th, Your Honor. He got arrested on July the 6th for a misdemeanor assault on Pablo Muriel, who has a long criminal record, including one or more arrests for domestic violence. And it was after the arrest for the misdemeanor, Your Honor, that the motion to revoke was filed. So he's been
And
in
for the
there.
record, and for the record, just that case was already filed again under 2021 CRB 718 L2.
So why are we doing this case if we file that one?
Well, it's a misdemeanor, Judge. What we feel right now, probation in the state of Texas, is we want to help the defendant out with his drug use. I believe his main drug, his choice of drug is cocaine.
Yeah, but we're going to be spending somebody to a safety special needs bed, and then you're going to come back and you're still going to have to deal with this misdemeanor case.
Well, Judge, the way I see it, if the court does send him to safety, we'll probably dismiss that case for sufficient punishment because this case is part of the MTR. But because we didn't have an agreement, that case was filed, Judge.
Right.
But I mean, I can always work that case out with this MTR, depending on what he gets, Judge.
Right.
But again, we don't feel that time to serve is an option. We do feel that treatment is the better option for this defendant at this particular time.
And he was appointed public defender on the new misdemeanor case, Your Honor. I think by mistake, I'm not sure how that happened.
All right, well, we need to have the same lawyer on it. Okay. And what's the wait time, Ms. Garza?
This time, Your Honor, for safe it's 4 to 6 weeks.
Jesus.
It's safety special needs. I don't know if the wait time varies for special needs.
It does. It's a little bit greater. So this is sort of like you're prepared to do a cold plea to the court. Is that what it is, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor. I explained it to him at length over the phone several days ago and in person last night.
All right.
And again, Judge, we try working with the defendant. We try looking for an alternative to safety. We just couldn't find one, Judge.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing applies to the 90-day intermediate sanction facility, which is normally the procedure that's followed, Your Honor, on the first go around. And I don't think he qualifies for that because it's a crime of violence.
So the ISF would not take him, Ms. Garza?
No, Your Honor, due to mental health and assault behavior.
So what type of offenders do they want? They just want the good ones? Is that what it is? I mean, it's like, I don't understand that. Like, what do you think you're going to get with somebody with a dual diagnosis, you know? I mean, you're going to get, especially like the mental health court, like what type of offenders what type of offenders have a mental health needs that can get into a mental health court, that would just be what? Just possession cases?
Thefts, criminal
That's
trespass.
robberies.
I mean, normally people with mental health have like those type of, you know, I mean, it's explosive needs of some sort. Sometimes it's going to be great and sometimes it's not going to be great. So,
And there's still an issue, Your Honor, as to whether he's guilty on the new misdemeanor assault case. The victim is Pablo Muriel, and he has a long record, Your Honor, of offenses, including domestic violence.
Judge, we're waiving condition number 1. So I guess whatever Mr. Gonzalez is saying is kind of irrelevant. We're not here for condition number 1, Judge. We're waiving it. We're mainly concerned for condition number 2.
yeah. It's just that it's just a long period of time to wait, and then he would be going somewhere else, but for the fact that they won't take him because of his mental health needs.
And criminal history, Judge.
Well, but the criminal history is what?
Well, he does have according to probation, San Antonio, McAllen didn't accept him based on his criminal history.
I know, but what is? Do you have it?
Based on the offense that he's on probation for, Your Honor.
Yeah, which is what is it? Possession and?
No, he's on probation. I believe he's on probation for an assault.
Why? It's the aggravated assault. That's the one with his grandfather, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the one on probation, Your Honor. It's an
He paid 5 for 5 on that one, Judge.
And the subsequent, it's an assault causing bodily injury.
Family violence.
Well, that's the one with the boyfriend that Mr. Gonzalez is talking about. The one you're waiving.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right.
And Judge, again, if there was an alternative to treatment, we'll probably send the defendant there, but probation couldn't find one, Judge. We really feel that he needs that treatment.
But isn't he also are you a patient of border region, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, sir.
He had a visit through the television with Border Region when he first went in, and that's how he was able to get the injection of medication when he first went in. But for some reason, he cannot get that anymore. He hasn't been able to get that.
Right. All right. Mr. Rodriguez, please raise your right hand and be sworn.
Do you solemnly swear testimony will give in this cause is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes or no? Thank you.
You?
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, there's an allegation being made that you violated condition number 2, which is that you have to avoid the use of controlled substances of illegal drugs. Excuse me. That you have to follow condition number 11, which is pay your fees. They allege that you May 4th, April 28th, and on March 10th that you had UAs that resulted in positive findings of alcohol, cocaine, and marijuana. Are those allegations being made to you true or not true? Also, with regard to the fees that you didn't pay, allegations is that you failed to pay the fees as ordered. Are those allegations true or not true?
Your Honor, those were pleading not true.
Those you're pleading not true.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's fine, Your Honor. We're only concerned with condition number 2.
All right. Very well. Is anybody forcing you to say that those items that you allege violated are true?
No,
Are you doing that freely and voluntarily?
yes, sir.
All right. Now, because you have played true to these allegations, sir, because you need to understand that I will no longer require the state to bring forth any other evidence before I find that in fact it is true you did violate the condition of probation as alleged. Wait a minute. Hold on a second, guys. If we go through the revocation, I would have to find, the only way I would have to find that in fact there was no, in other words, I can't revoke them and then just give them a 90-day sanction. That's not within the range. It has to be within the range. So the only thing that the state is offering basically is, we'll agree to withdraw, but if he takes the safety.
Yes, Judge, and if you revoke him, then he's looking at 2 to 5,
Yeah.
between 2 and 5. But we feel that time is that, should not be an option because we really believe probation in the state that this defendant needs help, especially when probation believes that he's mixing his drugs with his medication.
All right, then I'm gonna see that. So I need you to reconsider that, Mr. Gonzalez.
Well, Judge, we were under the impression that the court could impose a sanction in lieu of the revocation.
The only way I could do that is if I make that I make a finding that he should not be revoked, that the allegations are not true, and it's hard to do when he's pleading true to it. So,
yes,
so I'm not going to do that. So we're kind of forced to do it that way. So I think I need to, but I can't do it that way unless you agree either. So you know what I'm saying, Mr. Rodriguez, that you may not know, but if we go through the revocation hearing without an agreement, the only options that this court has is the range of punishment that we gave you, which is the no more than 5, no less than 2 years. And that's not what we want to do, because right now they're offering you a safe P, and that's a program that could last up to 9 months. That's the only offer they're giving you. But we can't do it on a cold plea, because a cold plea would take you would take you inside the range. And what they're offering you requires you to actually amend the conditions. So we're stuck with that.
well, Judge, if that's the case, he's prepared to accept the safety, Your Honor.
Yeah. Do you understand that, Mr. Rodriguez? You want me to explain something further to you? Let me know. I can explain it to you.
Yeah.
In other words, if you go through the hearing right now and you plead true the way you were going to, I don't have the option to just give you a sanction. I would have to find that there is no allegation, that there is not sufficient proof to show that you violate those conditions. But in fact, you're pleading true. So technically, it can't be done. The only way it can be done is if the DA's office agreed to do it, because they found that was enough, that they would find, in fact, that would be a proper disposition of the case. But they're not in that posture. Mr. Guajardo tells me that he has not changed his mind with regard to safety, and that's what he's recommending, and that he is willing to withdraw the revocation if you in fact agree to that.
Correct.
So do you want to go ahead and agree to that amendment?
Can you say that again?
You'd have to go to safety. In lieu of going to prison, you just go to safety, to the facility. It's not a prison, it's a rehab facility. It's called a substance abuse felony punishment facility.
But what is it? I don't know what it is. You know.
Well, it's a detention facility, but where you have treatment and counseling and group counseling and individual counseling, and you'll have an agenda of some sort that you'll have to do every day.
Is it like here?
No. No, it's not like here. It's not a jail. It's a detention facility, but it's not a jail.
I mean, I have no other choice.
Yes, sir. It looks like that. We staffed it with probation a few weeks ago. We heard from some of the people that are involved in your life to see if they were willing to take care of things, but we're hoping to, I guess their probation was hoping to talk to the DA's office in lieu of something that could be done differently, but it looks like they're sticking to that particular recommendation.
Yeah. Oh.
We'll see. I mean, I honestly, yeah, because they could have filed it with a motion to modify conditions, and then we could have done it that way, but they filed it as a motion to revoke. So the only alternative is for them to withdraw the revocation and then modify conditions. If they would have done it with a motion to modify, that's a different story. All right. I think that's your best bet, Mr. Rodriguez. Sir?
Yeah.
All right. Very well. Let's go ahead and get that withdrawal done, modified conditions, and have Mr. Rodriguez sign off on them and get him on the waiting list as soon as possible.
And Judge, can I inquire?
I think that Mr. Guajardo says that if that was done, that he'd be able to convince the misdemeanor court to run him concurrent or not file it.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll probably just file motion to dismiss once he starts that, once he's in the waiting list, Judge.
So then when you get out, you won't have that other case pending, Mr. Guajardo, Mr. Rodriguez.
But Judge, I wanted to inquire, is he eligible to be transported if he has that case pending? Does probation know?
For safety, yes.
Yes, Judge, as long as he has a bond, Your Honor.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, it'll be more than that, Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. Guajardo will go ahead and dismiss it.
I can do it tomorrow, Judge.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Thank
All
you, Your
right.
Honor.
Let's move on.
That's all I have for today, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Me too, Your Honor. Stay safe.
Thank you, Mr. Guajardo.
Thank you.
Nothing. Okay.
Who do we got?
We've got Jason Duncan. 49.
Mr. Duncan, good afternoon, sir.
Page 11.
And Mr. Garcia.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Sorry for the wait, Mr. Garcia, but here we are.
No
Mr.
problem.
Duncan, you are in evidence exchange. Mr. Juan Garcia is your lawyer. And you've been in jail for quite some time. And here we are. Mr. Garcia, anything to announce?
At this time, no, Your Honor, just if we can get the next setting.
Mr. What? We did have a bond reduction last time we were here, did we not?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you been able to get that done, Mr. Duncan?
It's too high. My family, they can't, it's still too high for me to reach. No, it's still too high for me to make bond. So it's like, I wish it was a little lower.
What is it at again? Kathy?
On counts 1 through 8, it's 45,000. Counts 9 is 10,000, and count 10 and 11 is 15,000.
But it's in my email.
The temporary injunction is in your email.
Yeah, and this too. For the corrections.
That's what you corrected. I don't know if she's.
Yeah, but I think she asked her. I think she corrected it. I'm sorry, Kathy, tell her one more time.
Okay, counts 1 through 8, 45,000. Count 9, 10,000. Count 10 and 11, it's 15,000.
All right. Okay, I'll look at it right now. Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Duncan, 1 through, man, they're not asking for bond reduction, but I think I'm gonna modify that 1 through 8 to from 45 to 30,000. Everything else stays the same. Okay, the next court setting will be October the 25th at 1:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
If you happen to get out for some reason, you need to make sure and stay in touch with your lawyer so that we can know where you're at.
I live out here. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, thank you. October 25th, 1:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think that's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Domingo Munoz? Is that who it is, Domingo Munoz? Mr. Silverio Martinez? I thought I saw him earlier.
Not going anywhere.
Was he going to federal court?
Judge, I think he logged in a couple of times, but he hasn't been on for a while.
He
Your Honor,
says he's federal court briefly.
Mhm.
That was at 2:26 p.m.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
what we're set on these cases for evidence exchange and motion setting, I believe we are just pending how much time parole is, or the only note I have is that we need to know how much parole is going to give. So I guess there's federal parole violations, and those parole violations may have some sort of punishment. And as such, we could dispose of these cases once we know how much time he's getting federally.
All right. I'm going to set you for October the 6th at 1:30, and we'll get word from Mr. Martinez about your parole violation.
I already discharged parole. That was on June 13th. They already discharged me. So,
You don't have anything pending?
I'm not pending, just the discharges that I have. And I talked to Mr. Martinez yesterday by phone. And what he told me was that
Okay.
I don't hold no more, but he was gonna give me a PR1 for discharging. I've been here for 2 months already.
All right. Well, I'm going to put you for September 30th with Judge Garcia, September 30th at 1:30. If he can get all that information to the DA's office so that they can.
That's
Coming in.
Silverio.
He's coming in. There is.
All right. So, Mr. Munoz is saying that he, as far as he knows, that he was already discharged from that parole violation.
Yes, Judge. I'm in the process. I told him that I'm in the process of getting verification, but in the meantime, we feel confident that has in fact happened. So I haven't obviously worked out a deal on these cases, but our concern was the bond. I didn't want to have him bond out if he was still going to be held on that parole violation, but that parole violation has been taken off. So at this point, I was going to ask Your Honor if the court could set us for another motions hearing. But in the meantime, if the court could consider granting a PR bond, he's been sitting there for at least, 3 weeks, Mr. Munoz?
55 days.
55 days. So that's quite a bit, almost a month. Actually, more.
But why is he in jail on these cases?
Only because of that. The bond was too high, and I didn't want to get.
Wait. So, was a CAPIS issued on these cases?
I believe with
Kathy, can you check that out?
Yes, Judge.
Give me a second.
There was a capias on July 13.
On July 13th?
Yes.
Mhm.
It
Was
says,
that
No, I'm sorry. There was a capias issued on May 28th, and it was served on July 12th.
Give me a second. Let me try and look that up. CRJ, right?
Unable.
CRI.
And it was for failure to appear.
okay.
On
And
both cases?
where was he then? I can't get it for some reason.
Was that initial appearance?
Give me a
The
second.
first time?
Maybe he was. When were you picked up by the Fed, sir?
It was not the feds.
July 13th.
Sir?
No, it wasn't the feds.
Okay, when were you in federal custody?
I was in federal custody.
When?
I wasn't never being in federal. Never.
Okay.
That's parole, the state.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
Are these mine? Okay. So your indictment came in April 28th, and then I'm sorry, April 21st. The writ was issued. Apparently, they attempted to serve you, and they could not find you, and you had a hearing set up for June 25th, and you didn't appear on that day. That's why you're in custody, because you failed to appear on this case, on these cases on June 25th, or at least on, where do you live?
No, 4020 Berkeley.
Well, they went to go serve you there.
Yeah, but I wasn't there. I was working.
Well, but give me a second. It says unable to locate, no answer at address. What does it say there? Expired papers? Oh, expired. Can you see it? The return? Oh,
Okay.
past the court date, yeah. Unable to locate, writ served. Casey, lo otro dice writ served. No contact, paper expired. It may have been reissued. It looks like it was reissued. Because there's two of them there. Oh, it says that the defendant had never been arrested for this offense.
So the capias went out with the indictment.
Capias was failure to appear.
Yeah. No, well, look at the notes of May 28th, Kathy,
Okay. On the 436, right?
on the 436, yeah.
Different error wasn't this one, didn't happen. Oh, yeah. He had a capias outstanding with the JP for this charge. And he had a bond for 25,000.
Right. So he had never been arrested on the original warrant. So then, I mean, we could have kept the original warrant like that, but we went ahead and just issued the capias anyways. So, anyways, so that's how we handle 436. So yeah, you're under arrest on 436 anyways, because you never got arrested originally. Okay. So I'm not sure why you think a PR bond is the way to go here, Mr. Martinez.
Well, Judge, I mean, he never, I mean, he was never able to post a bond. It was way high. Aside from that, Judge, he's been in there for 55 days. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Or whatever the court might deem reasonable is fine. I just don't think, I think that it's very high right now. At this point, he can't post it.
Well, actually, right now I have him on a no bond, but we can put a bond on him now.
Your Honor, if I.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, the state, although the state is not going to request that bond not be given, we are going to ask that it's sufficiently high in order to ensure his presence in court. And just for the court's clarification, these offenses were committed while this person was on parole. This person out of this court was convicted of burglary of a habitation. And now we have yet another burglary habitation, and then a theft of a firearm, and another burglary of a vehicle. Your Honor, these cases, I mean, this person's already gone to TDCJ and still came out and committed more crimes. So
Yes.
we feel he is a danger to the community. It's something the court's taken into consideration.
We're gonna leave the 20. We're gonna put him on a $25,000 bond, which is the original bond on it. I don't know what the other one is at, but this one's gonna be 25,000 to 436. I don't see the other one. Can you give me the other one?
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
on 437, Judge, for the theft of a firearm, his bond is set at 5,000 cash bill surety, and for the burglary of a vehicle, it's 1,000 cash bill surety. He's also in custody for a theft of property with a $10,000 bond.
All right, so then this one will be at 25,000. Okay. Thank you. All right, and your next court date will be October the 6th at 1:30, sir. Thank you.
That'll work. Thank you, Judge.
So
Have
you
you seen
give
your
me
honor?
bond, Judge,
Yes, 25,000.
on the second case
On the 436.
only?
Yeah, on the 437, it already has bond on it.
Okay, thank you.
¿Cuándo era la corte? When's the court?
October the 6th.
October the 6th?
For cash bill surety, no?
Yeah, he did.
Español.
Just confirm to be sure. Remember you threw me off with the disposals.
English o español, español. ¿Jiménez qué? Jiménez Orlín, está bien, está bien.
Ms. Alma, am I right in assuming this is the last case?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. Just wanted to double check. Thank you.
All right, what is the case?
On page 2, Judge.
Orlin,
Manny Jimenez.
Your Honor, anything interpreter?
Mr. Jimenez Orlin?
Señor Jiménez Orlín.
All right, Orlin Jimenez. Motion setting.
Yes, Your Honor. A plea packet was filed for Mr. Jimenez. I don't know if the court is willing to entertain that today.
Let's do that now. Is it e-filed?
Yes, Your Honor, it was an e-file this morning.
Okay. I have it here.
I have no other. Oh, sorry, Your Honor. I have no other case with the court. May I be excused?
Yes, sir, Mr. Rodriguez. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr.
Your
Jimenez.
Your Honor, Mr. Jimenez will need an interpreter.
Yes, she's available right here.
Thank you.
Mr. Jimenez, please raise your right hand and be sworn.
Señor Jiménez, por favor, levante su mano derecha para prestar juramento.
Do you solemnly swear testimony you will give in this cause now and trial is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
¿Usted jura que la declaración que va a dar en este momento es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad con el amparo de Dios?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. You can put your hand down now.
Gracias, ya puede bajar su mano.
Mr. Jimenez, you are here as a result of the fact that you were indicted by a grand jury in this county on a 2-count indictment. And I understand that today you intend to plead guilty to count 2 of that indictment.
Señor Jiménez, usted está aquí porque ha sido acusado formalmente por el gran jurado de este condado en 2 cargos y me han dicho que usted está listo para declararse culpable en el segundo cargo, ¿correcto?
Sí.
Yes.
Very well. Count 2 of the indictment is evading arrest, a Class A misdemeanor. It carries a range of punishment of up to 1 year to serve in the county jail with up to a $4,000 fine.
Muy bien, usted, el cargo número 2 es evadir arresto, que es un delito menor, y el alcance de la pena tiene 1 year to serve to what, Your Honor?
Up to 1 year, no more than 1 year to serve and up to a $4,000 fine.
El alcance de la pena es que puede tener una condena máxima de hasta 1 año y una multa de hasta $4,000.
Are you a citizen of this country?
¿Es usted ciudadano de este país?
Are you a citizen of this country, sir?
¿Es usted ciudadano de este país, señor?
No.
No.
I must inform you then that as a result of this plea, your immigration status could be affected. It also could be affected now and in the future. You could be deported. You could be excluded from entering the country. Do you understand that?
Entonces tengo que informarle que como resultado de este convenio declaratorio, su beneficio migratorio de este momento puede ser afectado ahora o puede ser afectado en el futuro. Puede que sea deportado o excluido de este país. ¿Entiende esto?
Sí.
Yes.
Now, you don't need to take a plea of guilty today to this charge or any part of this charge, but if you do, you'll be waiving your right to remain silent, your right to a jury trial, and your right of confrontation.
Ahora usted no tiene que declararse culpable a este caso o a ninguna parte de este caso, pero si usted desea hacerlo, tiene que saber que está renunciando a su derecho de permanecer callado, a tener un juicio con un jurado y al contrainterrogatorio de testigos.
Now, I'm going to have you take a look at what we call a plea packet. We're calling it today a State's Exhibit number 1. And I'm going to ask you if that's a document that you have looked at along with your lawyer.
Ahora le voy a mostrar aquí este convenio declaratorio. Le vamos a nombrar el elemento de prueba número 1 y le voy a preguntar si usted ha tenido tiempo de haber visto este documento junto con su abogado.
Sí.
Yes.
When this document was presented to you by your lawyer, did you understand and did your lawyer go over it with you?
Cuando su abogado le presentó este documento, ¿su abogado se lo explicó?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you understand it?
¿Y usted lo entendió?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you know that by signing it, what you were going to be telling me is that you were in agreement to waive your rights that are afforded to you as a defendant in this state?
Usted me está diciendo que usted haber firmado este documento, usted está de acuerdo a la renuncia a la renuncia a los derechos que usted tiene que usted tiene mediante este estado?
Sí.
Yes.
Did you also understand that you'll be stipulating to the guilt as to count 2 of this indictment?
También usted sabe que usted al firmar este documento, usted estaba estipulando a la culpabilidad del cargo 2 de este caso.
Sí.
Yes.
Very well. Any objections to 1?
No objections. Your Honor.
1's admitted. To the charge of count 2 and only count 2 of your indictment, evading arrest, a Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir?
Ahora, al cargo número 2 y solo al cargo número 2 de evadir arresto, que es un delito menor, ¿cómo se declara, señor?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Usted se está declarando culpable libre y voluntariamente.
Sí.
Yes.
Is anybody forcing you to plead guilty?
¿Alguien lo está forzando a declararse culpable?
No.
No.
Very well. Now, because you have pled guilty, because you have signed off on States 1, you need to understand that I will no longer require the state to bring forth any other evidence before I find you guilty of this offense. In addition, despite the fact that you have entered into a sentence recommendation with the state, you need to understand that I don't have to accept it. But if I do accept it, you cannot appeal this case without permission of this court. If I reject it, I will allow you to take back your plea and I'll give you a new trial.
Ahora le tengo que hacerle saber que porque usted se ha declarado culpable y ha firmado el elemento de prueba número 1, yo ya no le voy a requerir al procurador que me presente más pruebas para yo poder declararlo culpable de este delito. A pesar de que usted ya tiene una recomendación de parte del procurador para su condena, usted tiene que entender que yo no tengo que aceptarla. Si es que la acepto, usted no podrá apelar esta condena sin permiso de este tribunal, y si la rechazo, le daré la oportunidad de que retire su declaración y le daré una fecha para un juicio nuevo. ¿Entiende esto? Yes.
Very well.
Muy bien.
10 months to serve with credit for time served.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Jimenez, I'm going to find that your plea of guilty to count 2 of this indictment and only count 2, evading arrest, Class A, has been made freely and voluntarily, that you're competent to make it, that you have done it knowingly with the assistance of counsel, and find in fact you are guilty of that count 2 as indicted.
Muy bien, señor. Entonces veo que usted ha hecho esta declaración de culpabilidad al cargo número 2 de esta acusación formal y solamente a este cargo número 2, que es un delito menor clase A. Usted ha hecho esta declaración libre y voluntariamente, a sabiendas y con ayuda letrada mediante su abogado.
And I'm going to go ahead and sentence you to the agreed recommendation of 10 months to serve in the Webb County Jail with credit for time served for the court cost amount of
$410.
$410 in court cost. Thank you.
Muy bien, entonces voy a aceptar la recomendación de parte del procurador de los 10 meses aquí en la cárcel del condado de Webb, con crédito por el tiempo que ya haya cumplido, con los costos legales en la multa de, con los costos legales en la cantidad de $410.
Very well. Good luck to you, Mr. Jimenez. That is it for now. Thank you.
Eso es todo por hoy. Buena suerte, señor Jiménez.
Your Honor, that's my last case. May I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think that's it for all of us, is it not?
Your Honor, we have the extradition hearing set at 3. Would you like to hear that today or set it or reset it?
Mr. Trevino hasn't talked to him, so let's go ahead and, can we do it for another day?
It's up to you, Your Honor. We can go and set it up tomorrow or Friday or whenever you want.
Let me check, what do we got tomorrow? Who's coming in tomorrow?
Me.
No, Cindy.
Blanca, Judge, I believe we have civil in the morning and family in the afternoon.
Yeah, we could, what would you prefer, how does your schedule look tomorrow, Corporal?
I've got morning and afternoon court, but we could squeeze you in on a computer. I mean, it's not a problem. You let me know, Your Honor.
Let's set it up for, I guess for 3:30.
Sorry, what was that again?
3:30 in the afternoon tomorrow.
30, okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
We'll let Blanca know, and Fred already knows, and we'll let the DA's office know, which already got off the chat here. Merab, you'll be here on a family docket, so you'll just stick around.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think he needs an interpreter. Let me see.
Oh, okay, Mr. Sanchez, what do you got?
Saúl Cárdenas.
Okay, what are we doing with Saúl Cárdenas? Is Mr. Garza there, Pete?
Your Honor, that's it from the jail?
No, that's it. Yes, sir. Thank you. We're done.
Thank you. Have a-
See you tomorrow, Judge.
Bye-bye, Alma. Bye, Kathy.
Thank you, Judge.
Bye, Judge. Thank you.
Judge,
We just have Zapata left.
Judge, this is Valerie. I'm sorry. Before I go, can you just say on the record, just for clarification, Judge, on Jose Alfredo Lopez, you wanted to appoint Mr. Gallegos to the new charges as well, right, at magistrate level?
That's correct.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Cardenas, Mr. Sanchez.
Judge, this is a case where he's making payments. He called me yesterday that he's waiting on some invoices. I told him to show them to Monica Benavides. He was supposed to do that this morning.
Yes, as a matter of fact, Mr. Sanchez, yesterday the mail came in late around 6 in the afternoon, 6 at night, and I got the check finally. So I have here 2 money orders, one for 500 and one for 300, total of 800. Gonna
All
send
right.
it today.
Can you get those into Who are you paying those to? Probation?
Probation. Well, I'm gonna send it through mail. Yes.
Well, make sure and get that done first thing tomorrow morning.
Yes, I already talked to Ms. Lozano.
Benavides. Okay, Ms. Lozano. So
Yes.
then I want to see you back here on the status.
Judge, if we could check with Ms. Benavides, because prior to this payment that he's gonna make, I think that the last payment was June. So it doesn't seem very consistent to me. If we're going every 3 months, if that's the case, then I want to proceed again on the motion to revoke.
Okay, so Ms. Benavides.
I mean, this is it sounds like it's a special check you got. What are you gonna do after this?
No. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I was gonna ask. I already talked to my lawyer and Ms. Benavides. Also, I mean Lozano, and I'm telling them I want to pay this out prior. I know my probation is revoked right now, but I have until my regional probation is on. It ends in, I believe, in January or February, and I already told them I already have big events planned out on October and December, but I need some time to promote. And I can be able.
We can't hear you,
She's
Mr.
very- I can't.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
What he's trying to tell the court judge is he's got some events coming up that he anticipates making good money in October. And he is optimistic that he's going to be able to pay off, if not the whole balance, a good chunk.
Well, then I want to see him the first week of November. Let me see if we can get him in to see how he's doing.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
November 1st, Judge.
Yeah, let me see how things are at November 1st.
What
At
point, sir?
9 a.m., Mr. Cardenas.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Maybe.
But we'll be keeping an eye on all those payments, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Judge, what was the date again? I'm sorry.
November 1st at 9.
Thank you.
Let me know as soon as you receive those money orders, Ms. Benavides. Thank you.
I will. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Anything else, Mr. Garza, Mr. Sanchez?
No, sir, that's all.
Mr. Sanchez, you didn't tell Mr. Garza or I